My name is Paris Smith, one half of the legendary rap group EPMD from Brentwood, Strong Island. Well, growing up in Brentwood, Long Island, it was kind of different. Now, being older, looking back, I couldn't have grew up in a better place. It was like the melting pot. So you had all nationalities, you know what I mean? You had people coming from all over the place, but we would run into each other in high school. And we had a big high school that was split in half. You had the Ross for one section, and then you had the Sunderland. So within that, in the neighborhoods, you know, you had the guys who was on the street hustle, you had the guys who was going to school, and then you had the parents who was working a 9-to-5 hustle. And in between that was the birth of hip-hop music and EPMD. But it was the environment that we was in. There was so much hip-hop around us, so much music, so much hustling that it just rubbed off. Well, from the very beginning, I've always been around music since a young age. You know, I come from a big family. I got 6 brothers and sisters, you know, so music has always been there. But if I could think way back from hip-hop or regular music? Oh, regular music, forget about it. I started DJing at like 14. So any song that was coming through, whether it was hip-hop or rock, you know, in my association of football, playing that before hip-hop, you know, I rocked with in the locker room. It was Phil Collins, In the Air Tonight. You know, I don't even want to go there, Van Halen 5150, you know what I mean? But this is what, what is it, Time Keeps on Slipping? Time keeps on slipping, slipping. And then on the hip-hop side, it was King Tim III, one of the first hip-hop, you know, and it's kind of interesting story because from what I understand, it came out on Spring Records. And then in a little up the line, the owner of that label's son wound up representing me as an attorney, and we was able to do all of that work. So when you got the rock, it goes to that side. When you got the hip-hop, it's like King Tim, Run DMC, of course, Rapper's Delight, you know, all of those songs. And then you got the Marvin Gaye, you got the Temptations, you know, so we was well-rounded. You know, you had the real world, what was going on, and then you had, you know, the stuff your parents didn't want you to be around. You know what I'm saying? Trying to get out the house to go to that house party and see what's going on, and you only get 3 hours. So this is where it came from. And then once you get out there, you see the respect the DJ got. You know, when you can get out there, he had his records all labeled up with the arrow on it, Cutting and Peace the President, or Last Night Changed It, or the break beats and stuff like that. So it was like, yo, this dude is commanding a lot of respect up in here. Everybody's coming to him. So boom, started spinning. Yo, there's a massive story on how I got my first set of turn. In fact, where I used to live, across the train tracks was, was pretty seriously highly respected hood called Regis Park. You know, and I have 4 sisters. 2 of my sisters used to go with DJs, the most serious DJs in Regis Park. So I used to go across the track, get on the tables, not even aware of, you know, the danger as a kid. But my parents seen that. So for my 14th or 15th Christmas, came downstairs, whole DJ set, 2 turntables, mixers, 15-inch cabinets, 10-inch cabinets, echo chamber. Keep in mind, I had 6 brothers and sisters too. So, you know, they made that happen. And then after that, I just started DJing at the high schools, DJing at the junior high, and then DJing for my brother for Smitty D and the Rock Squad. So I got my first turntables at 14 or 15. Ever since I've been 13, again, I can't take credit. Everybody gets helped by somebody. So my older brother was signed to Tommy Boy Records when the Force MDs was hot, okay? So I got to rock, be around there and learn all of that. So then once it came my time to rock, I kind of seen some of the obstacles that they ran into, which made my life a lot easier. But being 13 and my brother being connected to Zulu, you know what I mean? They used to come out to Long Island in a U-Haul truck to DJ for my brother's graduation and my sister's graduation. So this is Jazzy J before Funky Sensation. This is before the music came out. And again, you see the turntables, you see the MC come up, and the next thing you know, DJing was the move. So that was it. Seeing DJ Jazzy J get busy, seeing DJ Pleasure from Wine Dance getting busy, seeing DJs High Voltage from Brentwood, Chubby, God bless the dead, and a couple of other cats. It's kind of funny. Because the place where I was going to DJ, Eric was living and just moved out of to his grandmother's house, which was the next block over from my mother's house. So once Eric moved from Regis Park and then he was there, I run into him at the bus stop. He was the new guy at the bus stop, you know. And then from there, that's how our relationship started. Well, my brother, he was always serious because before music, he was a promoter before we knew what a promoter was. Like, he was giving shows in Long Island at the YMCA. He would bring out like the hottest artists and have them perform. He would bring out cats from the Bronx and stuff like that. And then, boom, right after that, like, he had a record. So it wasn't until I got older, it was like, yo, you was a promoter before you actually made music. And then from there, once he started making the music, everything else started to fall in place. Not really, because I gave up 13 years of football. Okay, so with that being said, and as good as I was at the sport at the time, and you know, scholarships involved and people like really thinking, it was cool for my brother because he was hustling, he was doing that. But once I'm in college and the paperwork signed and I'm walking across the turf field like, yo, coach, I think I want to rap. I think I got it. These are true stories. And the best part about that story is I walked across the same field and handed my coach a couple of gold and platinum plaques. And to this day, we got a great relationship, you know. At the end, when the Runs House tour showed up, when the tour bus showed up, and the 560 showed up, and the 500 SEL showed up, and the big chain, it was like, okay, yeah, I think they might be okay. I just love that I stay true to the game and true to the art and that it doesn't change. And that you stay true to your fan base. And even when things get thick, like, yo, you ever see some people come back and like really thank they fans and they're like, yo, without y'all, I couldn't. That's wild. I don't know what's up with that. You get millions of followers, you go through what you go through in life. And then, like, you know, when you come full circle, they still there. All they want is what you gave them because that helps them out. Like at a lot of our shows, people come up with their children and they say, yo, this is real rap. Like true stories this year. You know, we had a couple in Nebraska. They bought a Strictly Business, fully wrapped, and said, we bought this 4 days after it came out and 2 days before our wedding, and we promised ourselves back there in 1988 that we would not open this until we ran into Eric and Parrish and y'all can sign it. Can you sign it, P? And do you think Eric will have a problem signing it? And we signed it, and we gave them so much free merchandise just from the story alone. And they had their 21-year-old kid there. Not to mention, not that being paid had nothing to do with it, but you could just tell. So this is what it's about when you come back, not to just come from your standpoint of view, hit the studio and make music from your perception, but go out there, hit 40 cities, see what your fans are saying. Sign all of that vinyl, 100 million vinyl from 87. Yo, guys be like this, the line be back there. You gotta, step by step, gotta sign all of that. Just my opportunity to be me, who I was as a kid. You know what I mean? Like my whole image is just based on me. You know, I don't have to go hit no booth and transform. You get a mic and you can make it happen. And the more true you stay to yourself and the more true you stay to your art, then bang. So that's what I like. Long as you just keep making music, you see DJ clips, you know, you see the response. And, you know, from what we hear, we're the favorite rapper's favorite rapper. So that's the fun part, to be in the game 31 years later, hungry, happy, be in the studio like you got a demo with not one record sold. I would have to say the highlight is the Runs House tour and the hospitality we were shown. You know, you don't realize till you slow down and you start looking over the tape. You know, EPMD was the only group that got to go on the Runs House tour and ride on the Run DMC bus for free. Okay, so it was early in our career where we just was getting opening money, but to be on the Run DMC tour with a free bunk and to see the shell toe Adidas lined up every morning when you wake up with no laces in them, you know, it's not until you start to process it, you realize like, yo, we went from 86 in a college dorm watching Walk This Way, and it's tricky, to on the tour bus. And not only with them, with Rush Management, with Russell, with Leor. So we was blessed to come in the game and be with the best, you know. But again, that album, Strictly Business, exemplified that. So that's why we was out there rocking. So to be second to Run DMC when it's all said and done, who could be mad at that? Darryl and Joe, what up? EPMD is the most sample rap dude in hip-hop history. So we got cats that done sold 5, 6, 7 million off of albums that was already created. I think that says something in itself when a new artist has a choice to use a new track or an EPMD track. and the EPMD track was winning. So that's why a large percent of the artists that came after us chose that track. So that's a compliment, because when people use your music or your rhymes, when we came in, that was a sign of them giving you props. And the latest artist to loop something was Drake, producer. You know, unless Drake did the beat, you're a customer. So that's the biggest thing, to come through, get the respect for your music, and then still, you know, the status of hip hop is so bad that when people see us, they'd be like, yo! And at first it didn't make sense. Like, it's like, yo. But now it's like, oh, okay, yo, when you start putting the music out, then, you know, it starts bringing a little balance back. That's why the Golden Era tours, the Hip Hop Legend tours are rocking. Everything is a go.